Hey girl, welcome to Rooted Radiance, the women's health podcast dedicated to helping you improve your health, grow, and radiate with confidence. Women are more prone to get deficiencies in minerals due to our menstrual cycles, stress, dieting history, and higher rates of different gut conditions. And when your minerals are low, everything feels harder: your energy, your mood, your digestion, your hydration, even your hormones. So, in this episode, I'm breaking down 4 foundational minerals that your body needs every single day and why they're your secret sauce for feeling grounded, energized, and supported. So, first, we got to start off with what minerals are and why they're important. Okay. Minerals are important for our growth, our thyroid, energy production, healing, digestion, hydration, and enzyme production. Unlike certain vitamins, our bodies can't make minerals, so we do have to get them from our diet, right? Our body can make certain vitamins like vitamin D with sunlight exposure and vitamin K from our gut microbes. Minerals help the body continue to run well. You can think of minerals like maintenance on any machine or equipment. Okay, maintenance is there to keep the machine running smoothly as it should, like maintenance on a car or a piece of a gym equipment. And if you've ever missed maintenance on your car, you know that you pay for that in poor performance and you run the risk of blowing an engine. So that's why minerals are important. And women can run low for a variety of different reasons. Okay, first is going to be stress, and this can be for both men and women, but high amounts of stress actually depletes more minerals from our body, just like magnesium and potassium. Right. There's a lot of metabolic demand when we're really high stress, and there's more urinary excretion of those nutrients. So those are the most notable ones that are depleted when we're highly stressed. The second is just low salt intake. So typically, if you're eating healthier, you're going to be eating more at home versus eating out often. And you can definitely have a low intake of salt if you're just cooking at home and maybe don't add a lot of salt to your food, or maybe you don't have a lot of processed foods in your diet, which also contributes to a lot of sodium intake. It's usually eating out and having more ultra processed foods that have a higher sodium amount in it. So those are some of the reasons why you could have a low salt intake and then you'd be experiencing some undesired consequences of having low sodium. Now, the third is if you have a restrictive diet or you have little variation in your diet, you can run the risk of having low mineral intake. Because when you have a restrictive diet, or if, because you're limiting certain food groups, or if you're just having the same foods over and over and over again, this can contribute to just not having enough minerals in your diet, or having too much of one and not enough of another, and that throws off a balance. The fourth reason could be just poor absorption due to poor digestion. So if you're having poor digestion, you're not properly breaking foods down, and that can cause poor absorption of those minerals, of those nutrients. The next one is going to be soil quality. So the foods that we eat, they get minerals from growing in the ground in the soil. And our soil quality over time has become poor, so that soil is not as rich in minerals as it once was. I'll add some resources in the notes so you can kind of go check that out. If you want me to, in a different episode, I can go more in depth on the soil quality, but that's not what I'm talking about today. Then another reason is hormonal birth control. So I'm going to have more information about this in my menstrual cycle course that I'm finishing, but with hormonal birth control use, you can deplete certain minerals and vitamins like B vitamins, zinc, magnesium, among others. If you're interested in learning more about your menstrual cycle, I'll put a link so that you can sign up for the waitlist to get access to the menstrual cycle course. That also comes with a meal plan to help you with eating throughout your cycle. So more information on that, you'll get some special discounts. So now that we've talked about why minerals are important and why so many women can get low in minerals, let's start diving into some of the more important ones that we need. And these are ones that I'm going to call like our foundational four minerals. So these minerals that we're going to be talking about in this part one, I'm going to make a part two later on. But these ones are the ones that we need more of in our diet than some other minerals. And the first one is potassium. So potassium is a mineral that helps our muscles contract. It helps to manage blood pressure. It works really in tandem with sodium. So it helps regulate fluid, and then it helps with our heartbeat as well. And over 95% of Americans don't get enough potassium. Adult women aged 19 and over need 2,600 milligrams a day, and adult males 19 and over need 3,400 milligrams of potassium every single day. Potassium helps your cells actually use water, so it really does help with that fluid. And without it, you could be drinking water and you can still feel thirsty. So some food sources of potassium, just to kind of help get you thinking about this to see if you have enough potassium in your diet. Potatoes with the skin on have a good amount of potassium. Coconut water actually has a lot. So if you enjoy coconut water, I would encourage you to continue to consume that. Spinach, broccoli, avocado, tomatoes, banana, cantaloupe, and milk are some other sources for you. Sodium is the other mineral that we need as well. Your body needs sodium for muscle and nerve function. It also helps to balance fluids in our body with hydration, and it does help to keep blood pressure stable. And everybody's needs on sodium differs on the person, on your physical activity, and if you have any cardiovascular conditions as well. This is one of the nutrients that I talk about often with my clients that are athletes, because if you're active and you sweat a lot, your sodium needs are much higher. So sometimes we'll have to dig a little bit deeper into sodium and how they are actually hydrating throughout their workouts to ensure that they're actually staying properly hydrated, because that's crucial for performance. And sometimes a low sodium diet is necessary for people that have certain heart conditions, but for the healthy individual without a heart condition, a low sodium diet's probably not appropriate. So you can get sodium from using salt in your food. So if that's table salt, sea salt, Celtic salt, whatever it is, that's obviously a source of sodium. There's sodium in different broths. So chicken broth, vegetable broth, bone broth, pickled or canned foods will have some sodium in them. Different baked goods like breads or seasonings that contain salt, obviously will have some salt in it. Soups, different frozen items, depending on what that frozen item is. Different, snacks like chips will have sodium, pretzels, crackers, and then condiments as well will have some sort of sodium in them as well. The third one that I want to talk about today is magnesium. And you may have heard that magnesium is needed for over 300 different reactions in the body, which is a lot, so it's really important. Magnesium can help to make sure that we have regular bowel movements, helps with energy production, our stress response, muscle relaxation, sleep, etc. Magnesium really helps to regulate our muscles in the digestive tract so it can get things moving along. It can also help to draw water into our colon, which is also known as our large intestine. And that's why it can be helpful for constipation. It kind of draws that water in and can help with some of those more hard stool that was difficult to pass to alleviate that constipation. Like I said earlier, magnesium is one of those minerals that can get depleted with a high amount of stress. I often see with women that have PMS that they're not getting enough magnesium. If that sounds familiar, you may want to focus on getting some more magnesium-rich foods in your diet. And some foods that have magnesium are dark leafy greens, beans, dark chocolate, which is one of my personal favorites, pumpkin seeds or chia seeds, also some of my favorites as well, and then different nuts like almonds or cashews. Whole grains like oats and quinoa will have some magnesium, edamame, and others. Now, if you're looking for supplements, there's a lot of different forms of magnesium out there. So when you're looking at a supplement, be sure to just kind of pay attention to the form that it is and what you're trying to use it for. I'll cover some of the most common forms of magnesium. There's more out there, but these are just the more common ones that you will see. The first one that you might have heard before is magnesium oxide. This has poor absorption. It's a laxative. So it's often used as like an over-the-counter supplement to help with constipation. It's not the one that I like to use. But it does, draw water into the colon, helps to soften the stool, make it easier to have a bowel movement. Typically, magnesium oxide is in a powder or a capsule form. There's another one that's called magnesium citrate, and this is magnesium and citric acid. This is easier to absorb, and this can also help with constipation. So again, it's going to draw some water to the bowels and help to alleviate that. Um, you can also sometimes use this to help relieve some symptoms of heartburn as well. But most notably, if I'm using magnesium citrate with a client, it's related to constipation if it's even necessary. Next form is magnesium glycinate. This is magnesium and glycine, which is an amino acid put together. This has a more calming effect on the body, and it's less likely to cause any GI upset. So it can be a really helpful one to use. This can help with sleep, restless leg syndrome, and sometimes I use this at times with my perimenopause or postmenopausal clients because that can be really helpful for them. The other type of clients that I'll use this for is anyone who's really, really highly stressed or having issues with sleep. There's another form called magnesium malate. This is magnesium and malic acid, which is found in certain foods. This can typically help to reduce fatigue and improve energy levels, and it's relatively absorbed well. So sometimes people use that one. And then there's magnesium L-threonate, and that's magnesium and threonic acid. This is typically used for brain function. And then the other common one that you might see is magnesium chloride. That's a magnesium salt and chlorine together. And sometimes this one, it's like in an oil, a spray, or a lotion. You can find it in a capsule form too, but usually it's used as a topical form to help relax muscles. So basically, you're absorbing the magnesium through your skin. It's called transdermal. It's how it's being absorbed in the body. And that seems to be helpful for some people as well. Okay, and then the fourth mineral that I want to talk about today is calcium. And when most people think about calcium, they think about bones, which calcium does help with bone health, but it also helps with your muscles, your nerve, and your heart function. So it's really important to get adequate calcium intake, of course, because of your bone health and the risk of as you get older, there's a risk of osteoporosis. Women aged 50 and under need 1,000 milligrams a day, and women over 50 need a little bit more. They need 1,200 milligrams a day. And so you can find foods with calcium in different dairy products like milk and cheese and yogurt and kefir. You can get them from leafy greens, which is a great plant-based source, which could be spinach, kale, different collard greens, bok choy, broccoli. You can also get calcium from different nuts, seeds, or beans. So chia seeds, almonds, edamame, tofu is a great plant-based option if you're a vegetarian or vegan. You can also get them from fortified products. So if you're in the grocery store and you see, for example, orange juice that says it's fortified with these different nutrients, you might see calcium on there as one of the fortified options. So you could get it from a source like that. And you can also get them from fish that have bones in them. So like salmon, or if you like sardines in the can, that offers calcium. And it also has the benefit of those heart healthy omega-3 fats as well. If this episode supported you, it would mean so much to me if you took just a moment to leave a 5-star rating. It helps Rooted Radiance reach more women who are trying to feel healthier, stronger, and more confident and grounded in their bodies. If you want to keep learning, please follow the podcast on whatever platform that you listen from. And don't miss out on part 2 of this, because I will be doing other minerals that are important for you as well.